Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Norman series of Crusader Kingstory here on the Lord Master channel. As you can see, Normandy has grown large, especially towards Brittany and Anjou. We completed all the requisites except for one thing that is left to do in order to end the struggle of the Consolidation of Normandy. With the Norman Conquest, must be an independent ruler. I do completely control all of Greater Normandy. It's interesting that, again, we went from this to this. And it's been, over 150 years by this time. Since the beginning of this playthrough. And now we're about to soon complete one last major goal for this series, and then who knows what I'll do on from there. Probably just call it a series because, you know, I like ending things on a high note. But first, raid. Decrease the risk. Do it. Assemble a potential raiding party. Baldwin, you son of a son, you will ride. And who do I choose as the vanguard to be the man for the job? I'll send the Norman. You seem to be the most capable of the task. 71% chance success, 28% chance failure. They'll be back in a year's time. I mean, we won't start the War of Independence immediately. We gotta raid first just to try to get some money so we can enlarge our war chest. And there's some things I want to get rid of that you don't plan on using anymore. Like, you're never gonna use these things. Get rid of that. Same for this thing. We're getting rid of a bunch of artifacts. If I want to keep myself going. As well as items that we picked up from the travels that don't mean much to me. And there's the aged cheese. Now this one's about to be destroyed, so break it down. Same for this, as I said. What's the point of keeping them around if you ain't gonna use them? Make repairs to the ones that are prove useful, such as those with plague resistance. Still got them all. You know, I'm gonna have a royal court soon when we win our independence, so why not repair these? Oh, damn. Okay, leave that alone then. Anybody to ransom? We got a couple. You can ask your head of faith for claims, but I don't need any more of those claims. And also, we gotta make a couple of alliances. Because, you know, that's another reason why you gotta have a large amount of money. Because I'm gonna invest on increasing the size of our military for us to defend our nearly won territories against the French. And we need strong allies. You already got England. Denmark. Old Denmark. Such a French, that's an odd mix. I'm sure you'll get them eventually. Unfortunately, they're in debt. Strength's inferior. Would you like to be betrothed? Yes. High legitimacy, despite the distance. We have the alliance with the Danes. While them over there, well, they don't have any daughters, and those that do, they have already been betrothed. I wish I could just murder the guy, but can't do that now, can we? Off the ring, yeah. Say, my other son isn't here right now. And don't forget, you can negotiate an alliance, if you can. Propose an alliance. Because you still have this, thing here. And there's an easy way we can do that. Compliment. Let's talk alliance. This is a negotiated mutual alliance between us. Vastly inferior compared to ours, but we just need somebody to keep the French off our backside while you get them up front. Could have done it with Burgundy, but they're in the middle of the peasant revolt. Unless you could get a hold of the Irish. Sweden is still a satchel, but remember, you can still negotiate with pagans. They're feudal. Okay, remember her. Come back to it. But for now, invest in the military, increase the size of them. Don't increase the size of the siege weapons. We're not going to go on the offensive when the War of Independence begins. So, beef them up the size. And especially them. But don't increase the size of that. All you gotta do is just sit there and accumulate until we're ready. Rally point here. So this will take about a year or so. Might as well accumulate enough wealth that I feel good and confident about. You know, remember, you still gotta pay money to those that you're gonna be bringing allies with for your War of Independence. Okay. We're increasing the size of our regiments so we can be in equal footing with them. Because their strength is similar. They got the knights, but they only have light horsemen so far. Because they're not like those from the Carlings, which they used to have a sizable army, but now that's been cut down to size for cost savings. And many units as well. So until then, just enjoy yourself. We have alliances. When you return, son, we gotta get you betrothed. This afternoon I was traveling between my provinces and my domain to administer my holdings. Gerald, my spy master, was swift to catch my attention. As things stand, it seems an assassination attempt on my person was prevented at the last minute by my spies. He assassinated with his life as suspected proof that petty king O'Donnell Scane planned this vile action. What's on my spy master report? You try to get attempted murder on me. I'm going to expose your ass. Known to be a deviant. I don't believe deviancy is criminal. Hey, expose it. You, get out. I'm gonna imprison you. You fled. Fine by me. Oh. Yeah, nobody likes absolute crown authority. And the offensive war thing, it'll go down with time. There's been some control issues lately, which we gotta get it fixed. We do have a seneschal, right? Yes. But it's not good enough. What you need is, increased county patrols, which will cost you a lot. It would be good for all, but I have my limits. I already did that to you. I don't suppose we can be friends. You can try. 5% chance. Good luck with that. So there's a power struggle that's ongoing. You've got a marshal that doesn't like you, and also my perceived senility. How prone you are exhibiting the signs of heavy traumas, cognitive decline, memory lapses, and confusion. Reflecting a perceived aging or deterioration of your mental capabilities. Senility influenced by age, maximum stress level reached throughout life, and negative stress coping traits. Perceived senility is greatly reduced when in regency. My attempts to improve my standing in the eyes of the marshal certainly face challenges, but my couriers have reported my letters no longer receive the same grunts at this point. His face now occasionally displays something that might be of interest. Ha! I'll get him yet. We have fabricated claim, destroyed liege title, unimpressed, spread. Yeah. He's gonna have to learn to get over it. Cultural excess between us isn't the best. Keep shutting my efforts to befriend him. They are hostile to me. So it's gonna be a little slower. This is a bad idea. I think the easiest thing in the world would be just invite him to a feast and then use the befriend a tent from there. That's the way to do it. Hey, he's moved. Still inferior. We can take him on if we want to. Because he's got mostly levies. And a few men at arms. But he's got money for mercenaries. In additional payment of recent trade, I find myself in possession of a large herd of livestock. I've been assured that the animals are of highest quality, but the question remains what should be done with them. Their hides are turn price. Bring the cleaver. Just needed to get more income by any means. fully reinforced and we're ready for war. But not quite yet. Or it's fascinating, so we'll have to learn. Innovate. +1 martial, pursuit efficiency goes up, men at arms counter efficiency. And as well as maximum battle roll while reducing the minimum battle roll. So that's good. You just want to be ready for the upcoming conflict. Blackmail. Not again. This keeps happening. How do you screw that up? This gonna expose me as murderer? Fine. How to get at you. See you die. There's a lot that refuses, but there are some that are willing. They called you a witch, huh? Here. Personal decision. Give you a small bribe. Alright, friend. Sure. I want to look for somebody else. Oh, you're gonna be screwed up with that. As I said, I want to see that man die. So help me out here. Support my scheme, and then we'll subsequently think about it. Not at your back, Baldwin. Hell, you get to be the brewmaster too. Empty the cellars, get the popular opinion up. So that way it's to prevent peasant revolts. You're gonna be rich whenever you become the new king of Greater Normandy. You're getting good at this sort of thing. Good. Alright. Baldwin, well, by the way, find your spouse that's suitable. Astoria's pays tribute. A Sorbia. So levies. No donors. Bohemia. Aha! Is held hostage. Damn. Great Moravia. These are all sons of bitches. Okay, what about the Duchess? Oh yeah, I forgot. I just remembered. You. What say you? Will not accept. Okay, grand wedding then. We will have our alliance. And when she grows up, grand wedding will be held. Either when I'm gonna be around or when he's being king. But for now, we wait. Until we feel we're good and ready. Of course, feel free to take part in anything. More than welcome to join. Who's here on the guest list? I'm sorry. Maybe I should befriend the Prince Bishop of Utare. Simply for the sake of it. So that was you. Magpies of St. Bridget. Going to that feast because I like going to feasts. I'm a reveler. It's to pass the time. Just to make a little bit of income. Phenobiarmian. Invited Norse mercenaries. I tried to swim, but it's not enough. And at the same time, I want to murder my rival. Invigorating friendship. Huge health boost. 77. And with that invigorating friendship that you just got. I didn't read how long it lasts. Is it 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. Not that fun. Servants carry on impressively adorned entrapments. Several peacocks, skinned and cooked and stuffed, and were dressed in a magnificent plunges. However, as Count Hamlin's brought his knife close to one of them, the fowl came with a shriek. This one wasn't cooked at all. It pecked out of Hamlin's nose before bursting forth among the screaming and laughing guests. The peacock's escape ended soon enough. Count still arose from his seat with a cold fish, seemed grabbed by its neck, and with 2 his hands, a loud snaps made the entire hall fall silent. Besides, it's only broken by Hamlin's moans of pain. That's what he knows. What a riot! Even more health boosts for the next 5 years. Still healthy as ever. Get a weak hook on Duke Andre. I could use that to demand payment. Probably have to use the demand payment thing whenever you're ready for war. I just need to get up at least 700 gold. Is the ideal number. My perceived senility is gone every time when I leave my realm in its hands of a regent. I'm probably going to be the oldest conqueror of all time. Yeah, open diplomacy. And you know, when we become our own kingdom, I get to choose whatever laws I like. Stop stealing shit from me. I said, I'm not going to start a war until we reach 700 gold. That's the ideal number. Infirm, are you? Yeah. Get a new bodyguard. Quick! Drawn a nearby church of faith, clubs of worshippers that beseech God for good fortune. It's done time since I have had an opportunity for prayer and reflection. What should I focus on in the years to come? Our economy will get better once we become independent, so we don't have to pay taxes to them anymore. So I'll say my health above all else. I want to grab fearful troops, then I might as well go for medicine focus. Who knows, I might live up to 90. With all these modifiers. But that's wishful thinking at this point. Unless you want to reset the perks where it's like, yeah, you get this, and then you get a few other things, and then maybe you'll become all that. And more. And as well as do one last travel into places where I can pick up some more learning lifestyle experiences. Something to think about. Alright. About to be 700 gold, and I will demand payment from some people. My nephew, that's Bota, who lives in Lotharingia, runs the Duchy of Spoleto. Matter of fact, he's formed a cadet branch. That's like nice of you. Good to see you're still going on there. 702. Ransom you. No. Demand payment. Hey, Prince, give it to me. And fellow vassal. And son and heir, you might as well give it to me now, as you know, get some money out of it. Same for my other son and heir to him. Just give me your money. You're still going to be well paid in future. really don't give a care about the kinsmen up there. Yeah, everybody, give me your money. I don't remember getting a hook off of you. Same for this. Oh yeah, you're the strong hook, loyal man. Kinswoman. House Toulouse. Yeah. Everybody. Heir to the County of Amiens. My bodyguard. Don't get it off of the king. That'll still be useful. We'll lose land when vassals inherit foreign titles. I'm well aware of that because of England ever since I put him there. Especially for this blind man. You've been around for a very long time. Imagine in a week, blind. Yeah. Been there for a long time. I'm surprised you've lived this long. Well, this is it. Strength is similar now. We got enough money to start the war, bring allies in, and if necessary, hire mercenaries. Let's do it. This is an independence war. If force demands, I become independent and lose legitimacy. He's got no allies, but we got plenty, if need be. You doing anything, England? No, still fighting his de jure war. Just try to get East Anglia into England. Just fine by me. We could call allies from other places, as long as you're not busy yourselves. So, just nodding my head. Let's do it. Raise an army here at the capital. It'll take 2 months to assemble everybody. My last war. I am a very healthy woman these days. Now remember, in 2 years' time, when I get fearful troops, I will stop going well focused and go towards medicine. The future kingdom needs me. And I will be around as long as possible. Bring allies to war. England cannot be helped, but they can. They're not busy themselves. But you could still call your house member in anyway, and your dynasty member. We tend to forget about those, but... Okay, pay 35 gold to... Okay, come on in. 41 gold to... over there. Get over here. And Denmark, 121 to Denmark. Get over here. And then to... And you will lose 150 renown, which we gained such good renown these days from the Prince of Lotharingia. Get over here. No need to call England in because they're busy. Heralds have returned. The proclamation read that a war against King Thibaut of France is now official. The letters summoning your vassals have flown across the realm, ordering every able man to leave their fields and gather under your banner. Yet, as the drums beat day and night, your marshal reports that some of your lesser lords and bannermen are showing reluctance to answer the call. Some are deserting. How shall we deal with those who shirk their sacred duty? Let their acts be their judgment. I only need the loyal. Again, bringing allies over here because personally I am not confident enough about taking on the entire army themselves, even though they got a terrible commander. And because of my War of Independence, I'm no longer the Royal Architect. Their steward, Count Godfrey d'Amiens, has to places a document for it. My lady, the coming campaign will strain our coffers severely. I drafted a temporary emergency tax that would bolster our war funds immediately. It placed a burden on your subjects, particularly the merchants and lesser nobility who cannot easily evade such measures. While this could provide us a welcome influx of coin, it would certainly damage your popularity. War is never cheap, but someone must pay for it. I reluctantly approved the war tax. Victory demands sacrifice. Spend only piety. Attacker advantage up. Siege weapon effectiveness up. Army damage and pursuit up. So is the monthly legitimacy, and the glory hound vassals will respect me more. Maybe perhaps we can catch him. King Maru of Estonia has finally reformed the Venezuelan faith, despite the fact that they've been encroached by Catholics that has been going on in Finland by the Germans. Well, now it's Finland German. So we're going in. I got a high fort level, so this will take time, but as long as we catch them while they're still gathering, this will be our best chance to win the war. And if we're lucky, capture the king, and we don't have to fight the grave burden of trying to take Paris. The current state of affairs is changing with the rise of Shahrukh, the foreign Emir Eriman of the Grand Emirate of Africa, who seeks to expand his power over Sicily. He is already increasing his military, political, and economic presence in the region, and local warlords and patricians are aware of his ambitions. Frontiers like Sicily are not the most stable or peaceful of regions. Despite the new developments in the region's trajectory, it remains to be seen whether anything will change in the long run. Things got interesting again in this land between three worlds. We're on our way. We gotta catch him. I have a high advantage. Yep, we're gonna catch him while they're gathering. Advantage goes to them, but we have the numbers and they were gathering. Captured one of their vassals and won a major battle. Good start. Although I didn't invest in the increasing the size of the you know, the size of our regiments. And since this was a slaughter, we gained 253 gold. Which, as a reminder to you people, this is part of making a killing. Gain gold from battles, 5 gold per 100 casualties. And look at those casualties. It's almost like you might as well raid their baggage train, will ya? Where was I going? Why did I come in here? Could I have something? Someone right? I was looking for a something. Was it urgent? I had to get back to someone quickly. Next week? Yes, I think so. Ah, there it is. That's what I wanted. I needed that for what was I thinking about? My mind isn't as fast as it once was. Yeah. I may be shrewd, but I'm not as shrewd as I once was in my advanced stage. Ill. I'm still feeling fine. Nothing to worry about. See? Nothing to worry about. We breached it, but come on. Head it down more. Remember, this isn't about taking Paris. We're simply occupying it, get the good loot here, and, no, might as well ravage the place. And it's also to stop telling them to stop spreading our culture. We're gonna get the Normans to become a majority around here again. Starvation. Starvation. They brought in the people from the Magpies of St. Bridget. Large breach. Jeez. I don't think he'll disrespect singular marriage. Not this time. We got Excalibur! Haha. That's going to my royal court. I step out of my tent. The siege camp sprawls out before me. A jumble of twisted and bloated bodies and leaking viscera. Flags flutter above the throng here and there. In the tents and makeshift shelters, men huddle over fires, their faces smudged and gleaming with rain. My low retainer approaches as far as the siege ended. Gather my bodyguards and head to the edge of the camp. The barony of Paris stands before me. The bodies of vultures and crows scattered in front. The fields between, the dead and dying lie in agony. Their faces twisted in pain. Little survives. The settlement is a shattered cadaver, gnawed on by 1,000 scavengers on top of the other. Grieving widows in rags scurry past, weeping as they forge for edible weeds and deserted gardens. The men look at me for direction. How developed is Paris? 16 compared to, say, 31 here. Burn it all down! Imprison everybody that you see. 97% war score now. Because we have your spouse too. Now we gotta occupy top there. Move on. Attack here. Because it's only a partial occupation. Occupy this fully and we'll win. War score's ticking up because we've been independent for long. Unfortunately, the terror I inspire on others turned against me as a direct consequence of insidious actions of someone who decided to get rid of me once and for all. As such, while at night, an empty alcove above my castle lost in my thoughts, I'm viciously attacked by mysterious and dark figures who approached me from the shadows. I immediately started to eject my final utter demise. Fortunately, my bodyguards cost me off significant protection. There's a 30% chance that I'll likely die. Given this old age, I would have loved to live longer than that, but some things are not meant to be. So if I die, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It'll just be, alright, this is for our independence, and we will die like a free people. I live. I will live to see the day of our independence. 99. Here it comes. Chronicle writing. Fascination. We got it. One moment, please. Manorialism. I want this next. So that way you can have medieval era economic buildings, which means we're going to be rich, especially here in our capital county. So we need a strong economy to support our military. We got it. We are free, ladies and gentlemen. My dear friend, your appetites are renowned throughout the world. You are a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. Laws have been removed. This is it. Wait, one day later to register everything. So on the 19th of April, and may we be reminded that I was about to say, when did the struggle begin? The better question is, when did Hrolfr, my grandfather, became the Duke of Normandy? On the 8th of March, 895. And now 120 years later. Oh, we're ending the struggle here. The Consolidation of Normandy has ended with Norman Conquest. Normandy may be the cradle of our people, but one cannot live in a cradle forever. There are lands out there waiting for us to subjugate, and by the will of God we will fulfill our destiny to conquer and rule a realm far greater than just Normandy. And that we did. So here's what's going to happen. Gain the end of the Consolidation of Normandy legend seat. Gain the nickname, the Conqueror. Made 500 prestige. Unlocks the decisions to compile the Domesday Book. The adventurers and aristocrats tradition is upgraded with further military and political bonuses for all cultures that have it. If you conquer Great Normandy, you will gain the Kingdom of Greater Normandy, and all duchies in Greater Normandy will become de jure part of it. If you conquer England or Francia, which I didn't do those, you would have gained the titles of either of these if you don't currently hold them. It will determine what Norman ethos will be going forward, as we've been a what kind of are we? Bellicose. We've been all that. I believe that's due for a change for all this. So either bellicose, stoic, communal, or cosmopolitan. We'll gain 1,000 renown for our house, dynasty of the Normandy, and we'll gain the Norman Conquest, as this dynasty has completed the Consolidation of Normandy and united the Norman people by engaging in a legendary campaign of conquest, cementing for themselves and the Normans a place in the history books. +2 vassal limit, reduction of title creation cost, and legitimacy gain +5%. See, the level of fame would have been illustrious. I mean, had I died right now, he would not be ready for that level of fame to become illustrious, which I believe that, you know, it would take time for him to get up there. With the amount of prestige that he's gotten, the amount of fame. So, for one last time, Norman Conquest. Let me take a drink for this moment. On the 19th of April, 1015 AD. A new day dawns on Normandy. I began reflecting on the great and terrible years of war and struggle that led us here. From the very beginning. Yet here we are, with the great Norman Conquest accomplished. Without a doubt, historians of the future will write much about our valorous deeds. Yet, before we start this new age as rulers in a new powerful realm, having vanquished our foes, we should decide for ourselves what direction we, as the Normans, want to take going forward. What values and ideas will we, as one united peoples, treasure and revere the most? Bellicose, stoic, communal, or cosmopolitan? Well, it should be kept well in mind that, yes, there was a period of Normanization. Though we don't want to make everything Norman, with the exception of our core counties here of Normandy, where we start including that. I still want to spread to that culture. I want to make friends with the Bretons, the French, and the Dutch, and many others. So, I'll say, our diverse origins is what makes us strong. Cosmopolitan. We're not gonna be a warlike people anymore. That was an old way. And now this is a new era for a new Normandy, and we have to be accepting of peoples of the family of nations and the family of cultures. Firmly believe that. Many years ago, when Marquess Rolfer, or Rollo, of Normandy, arrived on the shores of northern France to rule over Normandy, few could have imagined the glorious destiny of the Normans. Normandy, once a mess of squabbling warlords of different origins, has unified under the rule of Queen Stephanie. Under Stephanie's brilliant and determined leadership, the Normans have formed a great empire stretching across the territories formerly dominated by the erstwhile Celtic and Flemish rivals. This is undoubtedly the start of a golden age for the Normans, as they emerge as a strong, independent power in Western Europe. Victory in warfare was only assured, as far as Stephanie was concerned. Though embracing diverse viewpoints and strategies, the Normans will continue to practice that. And so, the consolidation of Normandy is completed. So here you have it. Empire of Francia became de jure Kingdom of Greater Normandy. And Kingdom of Greater Normandy titles were created and become my Empire title. Gained the nickname the Conqueror, 500 prestige. Compiled a Domesday book, which I got lots of money for that, so we'll do that immediately. The Adventurers and Aristocrats is upgraded with further military and political bonus for all cultures that have it. Norman culture have the Cosmopolitan ethos going forward, and became the Kingdom of Greater Normandy, became a de jure liege of the duchies of Normandy, Flanders, Anjou, Holland, and Brittany. After the Normandy dynasty, we gained 1,000 renown and gained the Norman Conquest. This gift will mark the beginning of your royal tenure. Count Arnold of Lisieux, the Blind, unfolds a beautiful banner bearing the emblem of House de Normandy. You are a queen in name, but still, the realm should convene for a great ceremony of coronation. There, you may submit your authority and pledge yourself to God as protector and defender of Greater Normandy. Commence preparations immediately. You will start preparing coordination. Let's do that. And, look at me now. It's like, yes, I'm gray-haired and everything, but I need to be crowned queen. Invite the great and powerful of the realm to witness your accession to the throne. This will forge the foundations for a long and successful rule, if I'm going to be around for long. But at least I don't have to pay taxes anymore. To prove your legitimacy, swear an oath to pledge your course to your reign, though I may not be around for long. May gain opinions with vassals. Vassals may lead factions, and may crown yourself for additional prestige. A stately ceremony shall prove the rightfulness of your rule, and the majesty of the realm shall be your sovereign investment. The capital, and there's a few places that's been traditional coronation locations. One for the King of France and one for the King of Brittany. But let's do it here in our capital. Glory and splendor. Significantly increased magnificence. Activity guests will be significantly more likely to join. Amidst hall relics and glittering jewels, this will fuse into nice music. There shall be all my kin, my vassals, and prestigious guests from afar. For celebrations. Lavish banquets. Significantly increased magnificence. Decreased risk of negative events. Endless courses of sumptuous smelling delicacies await. Magnificent delights to buttress the monarch's high table. Exalt the crown. That's what I want to do. I was about to say, are you going to be here, Pope? No, he's not going to be arriving all the time, and we'll only join it on. Yeah. Alright, you're correct. There are some that may not like me around here. I do have a few detractors in my realm. Started coordination. Messages and servers have been sent out to run to for the coronation. Only as the last invitation goes out and the court begins preparations, it dawned on me that I'm finally to be crowned Queen of Greater Normandy. While I already reign, this is a coronation that shall mark me a true queen, and I am ready. And remember, they call me Stephanie, the One-Eyed Conqueror. Because remember that one. My house has been damaged by factions opposing me. Yes, I get that, and I'm aware of it. But let's be exact. You got a few parochial factions, but there's a lot more minority and minor landholders out there. But I want to please them first. Yeah, the unruly marshal. Count Arnold. I'll sway you. I'll deal with you. Oh, you were already punished. Count Death. Sway you too. And by the way, I'm still gonna murder you. Get rid of my rivals. Get rid of my competition. As soon as the feudal vassal thing goes away, we're gonna have to do something about distributing lands to those that deserve it. Particularly for my two sons. Oh, and two more things. To the royal court. It may not look like much, but it's a royal court, alright. I'll pay for the maintenance soon. This is where the Normandy dynasty banner is. The symbol of authority of the bloodline of all its members, commissioned by Queen Stephanie. And this over there is going to be the house banner. Symbol of authority of the feminine sons. Marquis Slayer will be up there, as is the sturdy shield, which we got it off of. Do you want to look at it again? It was created by Usabika, Pechenek, Yamin. That was during the raids of Finland. And then down here, this pedestal, Al-Yatima, the orphan, an enormous pearl said to be unlike any other in this world. An orphan among the families of gems and pearls. Prestige up and renown up. So is the. I want you to get a close look at that. That gemstone. What beauty. And over on the other corner, Excalibur. There's nary a ruler in Britain who doesn't claim to have the true Excalibur. Wars are paid for by selling Excaliburs, and you must hope the guests don't catch another displaying the sword. More prestige and renown gain, bit of knight effectiveness, and court grandeur bonus up. Take a closer look at that sword. So, Cosmopolitan. Intolerance and isolation may be the way for the future, but this culture recognizes that accepting difference is far better than annihilating it. This increases a cultural acceptance gain a lot more. More vassal limit. Tributary taxes go up. Cheaper, higher mercenary cost. Different culture and faith opinion goes up, so is tributary opinion. Better personal scheme success chances. And minority vassal opinion goes up, so I have a bunch of minority vassals, so I thought it was a good idea to pick that. And here is the new version of Adventurers and Aristocrats. This culture is distinct from a mixture of Norse settlers and older Frankish and Celtic peoples in Normandy. They skillfully blend the best of the Frankish and Scandinavian ideas and customs. Fearless seekers in glory and war and customs. Feudal seekers of fame, glory, and war. They are also renowned for their Cosmopolitan society and piety. You could still use the Norman Adventurecraft spell in the early medieval and high medieval eras. Cultural acceptance gain plus 15% more. Up the diplomatic range. Vassal levy contribution goes up and vassal levy. And now for all Norman counties, castle buildings and holdings are a bit cheaper now. Thumbs up. So I thought it was a good choice to me to throw away bellicose and be more cosmopolitan. Because we want to be with all the brotherly peoples, even though we're still spreading our culture here. So, coordination ceremony will begin in 5 months. Moving up in the world. Feudal taxes to you are increased. Go ahead. A claim on Holland. Now, why would you do that? We got some inspiration. Prince Baldwin, you want to forge a crown? You got it. I didn't know you have it in you. And you want to make a cabinet? Go ahead. I got all the money in the world. As we're currently reinforcing our troops here. Even though our income is rather shot right now. And also I could pass any law that I damn well please. As I have absolute crown authority. I do like open diplomacy, but I don't want to piss my vassals off more than I need to. As much as I would like to have that, but... Cheaper building costs is always attractive, but the control growth would be an issue. Apocalyptic cult, that explains it. Although I remember, those minority vassals of mine are a bit, you know, unruly. But I think, for starters, we should have urban planning. Yeah, we'll lower the renown and prestige gain in favor of cheaper building construction. Do it. I'm sure I'll get more piety after the coordination. And the feudal vassal thing will go away after this year. End of the Consolidation of Normandy. I got something to think about. Since I got lots of... It's truly fortunate I'm afforded the chance to plan this scheme with my friend Count by my side. A better, more observant aid than no woman could ask for. Always willing to go an extra mile for our needs. Always focused on best to advance the scheme. Most recently, his work resulted in a shortcut that should save us a significant amount of time. Excellent news. Advantage up. But I wanted to go all the way. Come on. It's Norman again. Alright. Turn to your other duties. I just want to be Norman again. In fact, same for over there. Put that over there. Now we're slowly gaining income again. Deal's a deal. It's about to begin. You've got your major supporters and major detractors here. Guests have come from near and far. Out of loyalty or curiosity, the crowd swells with faces marked by expectation, calculation, and in some cases the faintest warmth. I raise my voice enough to settle attendees and welcome to my coronation. Welcome one and all. Before the coronation can proceed, I must decide who shall preside over the sacred rites if I'm to secure the favor of the clergy. It would be wise to let one of their own oversee the ceremony, granting it sanctity and blessing that they can only provide. Yet a part of me wonders, would not be a grander tale if I were to take up the crown, with my own hands declare my right to rule before routing the session? Lulu's opinion, Courtiers and zealot vassals. Based on magnificent. It's an honor that can only fall to me. It would make sense because look how much I did. What mightier deed can be written in the annals than the subjugation of the entire realm? You won't certainly let the people forget your accomplishment, right? And I'm very ambitious and I'm brave, so it's an honor that can only fall to me. I will be the officiator. Meanwhile, go. Execute with confidence. Duke is finally dead. Thorn on my side no longer. Thank God. Mora's hireling executed our plan perfectly. In the dead of night, the man snuck through the gap scouted in the roaming patrols and led himself to a Courtier's chambers with a stolen key and brought his wretched existence to a wet and gurgling end. I've covered my tracks well. If anyone suspects me of going behind the attack, then they dare not say it out loud. You had a hook on me? None anymore. I do love surprise visits and gain prestige for outliving my rival. Gotcha. Ransom. In the shadows run, vipers slither about. Amidst the servants of Courtiers preparing the coronation hall, Count Godfrey whispers to the circle of recent arrived guests. They quiet me and approach before Godfrey bows deeply. My liege, he starts. I apologize, we're just speaking of matters of personal nature. I shall get the truth from him yet. So, he's caught in a lie. He is planning a pleasant gift. 1 second. Queen Stephanie! Duke Philip approaches me with open arms, gently bites slip as a pigeon in a rough symbol of identity between his feet. I offer you my unyielding loyalty and support. An alliance between us would be a greatest of honors. No need for that. I will not listen to sycophants. Just want to increase my magnificence a bit. The flames on the fireplace dance in what looks like a round dance. The door to my chambers opens abruptly, and I hear a familiar voice call my name. Queen Stephanie, my steward Godfrey starts. I know that the day is near where you look at your reflection on the cold meadow and wonder if you're doing the right thing. Let it be known, let it be screened from every corner of this keep. I will stand by your side. He produces a small gift from his pouch. I have commissioned this for you. Norman lustrous scale armor. This is more than I could ask for. The armor is constructed of massively crafted gold scales that are fastened to the backing of leather. This set includes a nasal helmet and mail cloth, patterned with fustian. The whole armor has been etched to display a repeating image of a detailed stag, a gift from Kama on the eve of your coronation. This is wonderful. This is better than my old Norse mail. Put that on. And longer lasting too. As I nod my head in approval. Okay, my prowess is 0 now. I'm too old to fight. And people say that I'm too senile to be ruling as queen. So I could say, shut up. You're never too old to be crowned or elected as a leader of a world. Of a free world. As the procession is about to begin, Overhear my husband, Lois, and my steward, Godfrey, arguing over who will lead the entry into the ceremony. Their skull echoes through the antechamber. One insists on being the most impressive, therefore the most deserving. The other claiming to be most impeccable. I am definitely flattered. Come, let us discuss a solution. Good Queen, I turn around and find Count Arnold, the blind, next to a nervous man. You know that I cherish you and it would bring me great joy to help you. Here I offer you the first and best of my men, Nils, my accomplice steward. May this serve you as a sign of friendship in our house. We're the same house. Think he would be a good Higham owner? He's welcome to my court. Come on in. Just be nice. I awakened coughing and sputtering, my mind fogged, my head throbbing, almost retching. I try to haul myself out of bed, but the grip on the frame is frail and weak like a newborn baby. With an almighty effort, I jutted to my feet and staggered over the wash basin. By Jesus, where did this weakness come from? I feel so sickly. The cool water does little refresh me. Blurry-eyed, I stare at the grim, hazy reflection of my polished silver mirror. The woman glaring back at me looks so very, very old. Huh. Perhaps I could live a little cleaner. 1 second. 1 second. Hang on. I can't do this anymore. Son of a bitch. You know. It's like, you know what? Jump up the learning. And in addition, husband, help. +1. Trying to increase the chances. If I become incapable, this might prematurely end the coronation ceremony. I make a few necessary changes. I'm not going to be incapable. This character started to climb, but the march of time seemed to wear a little less heavily on them than most. Look at me now! I am healthy as ever at 79. I ain't incapable. My great nephew, King Bernard of England, left his pleasant seat in the Kingdom of England to celebrate my coronation. His presence here is a sign of support, of trust, of shared bond of blood. Let the lightning of thy glory flash. These words guided the Normandy through generations. Our ancestors carried it through thick and thin. Whether together or alone, it's up to me and King Bernard to carry them further. Welcome, my nephew. Your magnificent coronation increases notably. Ambitious. Dice against 300 more renown, and this will increase his legitimacy level. Because of my exalt the crown intent, every parochial vassal will be respect me a little more. I didn't fall into coma. What luck. Oh, one more thing. Put it back. Put it back. All preparations are complete. The great ceremonial assembly now awaits Ron's High Church. To cheers exaltation, my procession parts the city's thronging crowd. My finest knights ride before me. My royal household behind. Horns ring out. Banners stream forth in bold Norman colors. Peasants praise the Queen. Women weep in ecstasy at this glorious parade. I'm the very image of a great Queen, thanks to my inspector trait. I gained 22 prestige. The county is awed by wondrous coordination for the next 10 years. 4 level up, garrison size up, reduced, development decline. Popular opinion way up. This happened due to your coronation's high magnificence. This modifier is removed if you lose the capital. If the capital is stolen while this modifier exists, you will gain a negative modifier. Magnificence of coordination increased notably. This office has been improved by your glory and splendor activity. Up. Engage in ceremony. Past the castle gates, my royal procession wends its way to a holy altar, waiting officiants, the nobility, the clergy, and I solemnly take up our places amidst the soul-stirring rise and fall of sacred prayers. Now to write the bishop's petition, I am revered by these intercessors for the divine, and it is with worshipful deference that they beseech, Great Queen, will you safeguard the faithful and preserve the rights of God's clergy? Huh. Exploit the clergy? If you want to be rich, sure. What do the zealot vassals think of me? What do they think of me? Oh, you don't have that many to begin with. You're fine. Because of my high learning and ambitious, I'll say, twist the customary answer to my favor. Such a thin line between promise and faithfulness to these priests. I place my mandate from God above theirs. So for the next 20 years, rest of my life, basically, I'm going to be exploiting the clergy. You did gain your piety while you lose some. You won some, you gained some. But in return, the main taxes are up. And if you had any theocracy vassals, prince bishops if you will, they'll pay you more. But the clergy may not respect you. But one day they'll learn. The vassals of Greater Normandy have come forth to give their allegiance, one after another, raising their open-palmed hands, one after another bending to give kisses of fealty. As they come, I ponder on the rest of the words. Queen. I feel neither the strain of love nor a tinge of loyalty. These are my vassals, the bulwarks of my rule. Gain 9 prestige. Prestige harmed by detractors, improved by high noble traits, and improved by high legitimacy. So I get very little. That makes a little difference to me these days. The senior figures among one's peasants are next to shuffle forward to give the commoners assent. Of my great power and authority, the bishop warns these stooped elders and asks if they will accept me as rightful queen. As they voice the words, another sound meets my ears. Beyond the church, the waiting crowds cry out in a joyful anticipation. Hundreds of people call my name again and again. Stephanie, Stephanie, Stephanie of Greater Normandy. Because of my exalted crown of tent. Be the woman of the people. May those here never forget this day. All these loyal people deserve a personal appearance and bread from their queen. So in our county, crown loyalists for the next 20 years. It will be the remove will be modified, a negative modifier if you ever lose this. Development growth up. So spend little gold. She's the woman of the people. Carried forth in soldiery, the icons of Norman rule, and a crown that I am to bear are steeped in prayerful blessings. The priests prepare my finery and ritual motions, and invocations to Saint Peter, the keeper of the heavenly kingdom. With this ceremony, my beloved Cumbrian crown is to be endowed forever to Greater Normandy. This is an old crown that we've had for a long while. Long time ago, when Rollo during his travels. O Cumbrian crown, O glory of glories. So the Cumbrian crown will be inherited with the kingdom of Greater Normandy. This is the crown of Normandy now. We'll be blessed with a new modifier. Gains monthly tyranny reduction. So those who question me, they'll say otherwise. So now in 1015 it was blessed as the regnal item of Greater Normandy for the coronation of Queen Stephanie. You know, we're having a new crown made, but still. The final sacred moment draws near. First, I must be ordained by holy oil, charged as leader of God's faithful, as one above the common flock. Frode, the shepherd of Greater Normandy, which he's now called Archbishop Frode of Greater Normandy. Marks me with a pungent golden oil on my outstretched hands, my head, my breast, my shoulders, the bends of my arms. This anointment is given unto prophets, priests, and monarchs. My skin shines with the very approval of God. Demand conversion types. Oh, we don't need to do that. Because I'm not much of a, convert to. We're all Catholics here. So. But all demand conversion types. That includes culture, but culture we can handle. I gleam with God's own touch. High anointment. Piety per vassal and consul, per piety per legitimacy level, cheaper holy cost. Snorter makes much of the charge to lead the faithful. Tiny piety gain. Some would call it shameless pride for a queen to lift the crown high and place it upon her brow, and doing so proclaim herself among God's chosen monarchs on earth. Yet those few doubting priests are singing out readily, gazing on all as I begin to write, gripping a cross-bearing diadem on my fingers, reciting, Lord God, you are above all kings, to your dominion belong all realms of heaven and earth, and so forth I crown myself master of greater Normandy. At last I approach the sovereign throne as the queen I was always meant to be. May I sit here for many years to come, and boy will I ever. Not only because I'm ambitious and 60-degree prestige, but the fortunes now say I have a much longer life to live. I might live up to my 90s. I might break my old record in the history of me playing Crusader Kings 3 in my career. So now I'm crowned sovereign. Vassals will respect me a little more now that I'm crowned. With the rights of the queen's enthroning complete, the royal consort is now to be properly instated as king. My husband conducts the rituals with his characteristic coldness. His Sorbian upbringing did little to prepare him for the Norman rites amidst Catholic prayers. He recites the vulgar oaths from memory from their sounds alone. Before long, and with great ceremony, Dobislaw's crown is laid on his head for the first time. The kingdom of Greater Normandy acclaims their king. I mean, he is a seducer, but he hasn't betrayed me yet. So I'll say, my husband, my king, Dobislaw. The assembly watch me, some with hope, some with doubt, all waiting for me to speak of my reign and swear to the future. I can hear the questions they do not speak. Will I be just? Will I be fair? How will I govern as first queen of these lands? I do not stand here as queen to echo their expectation. I come to choose my own path and a way forward for the kingdom. Whatever Greater Normandy becomes, whatever I become, begins this very moment. Let me see. Too old for this. Support the knights. 3 martial estates. Provide to the poor. Construct poorhouses. Official almshouses. Ensure peace. 5 years of continuous peace. As in, don't start any wars. Not that I plan on it. To receive prestige, development, and ensured peace. Ooh, that's attractive. Spellman. Claimants, don't need for that. Provider to the faithful. Shape the realm. I mean, I love building buildings. Since we got a lot of money for it. But you know what? I could do ensure peace. Swear enough to ensure peace for the kingdom. So, ensure peace. 5 years of continuous peace. Do not get involved in any wars, and do not start any wars. Not even raids. Heaven forbid. But that's really attractive. Domain limit. Ensure peace. There will be peace in our time. And I vow, no more wars. The ceremony is complete. Each and every royal honor has been bestowed upon me. I rise once more, not to promise and command, but to offer some just pleasures. Let these tables be filled. Let cups be raised. Let all remember joy as well as his duty. The assembly, famished from the long vigil over the Laborites, rumbles with approval. For now, at least, everyone has something in front of them other than me. At long last, some food. As one plate of food is replaced for the next, my vassal Count Gilles of Anjou goes on and on about parties. That's how we salvage that mess. Are you sure I'm not boring you, Your Highness? Why don't we talk more about you instead? The hall falls silent. My guests wait a bated breath for me to speak. I lower my goblet and let my gaze drift to my worthless Marshal Harrenhal and my equally wary cloistered vassal Adela. Do I lavish them any praise I praise them pride, or propose a poisoned toast that reminds them exactly who holds the power here? Or I can hope more wits instead. If I had a deceitful trait, I think she would say something very differently. My vassal may attack Criticals. Well met, liege. Heard tell of your patronage of Romain the Carpenter. They say she's making a cabinet worthy of a queen. Please take this to give it to her. You wouldn't want to miss the chance to give the aid to creation of a masterpiece. Or Tancred must have more money and knows what to do with. How generous. Go ahead. The nobility began a carefully choreographed round dance, bearing symbolic props. They act out from the scenes of my dynasty's rise, triumphs, and aspirations. All eyes turned toward the central figure of the spectacle. To my astonishment, my vassal, Haimar, what kind of name is that? It's a Norman name. Steps forward as the ceremony calls for a symbolic act of homage. The gathered audience shifts, caught between laughter and uneasy applause, unsure whether to treat this as jest, performance, or warning. Make a speech about tradition and house de Normandy. Because of my exalt the crown, the tent. Renown up. At last, the cake arrives, towering, glorious, the crown jewel of the feast. Wary but proud cooks spent the night layering pogrants and colander, each layer scented with lily. Somewhere inside rests a tiny token which I hid myself. Mayor Oswald Dort plucks the token from the cake with a smirk, his victory unmistakable. A ripple of murmurs courses through the hall. Fortune favors even a crown's critics, it seems, if only for tonight. My slice goes to my peasants, as there's no stress for me to get rid of. I'm the woman of the people, remember that. Count Gottfried and Duke Harrenhal, my marshal, are among the most powerful vassals of my realm. I never know how to keep them happy, so they don't go around stirring up trouble. Perhaps flattery's the way to go. Anyone would be pleased to have something made in their name one day, and I have just the right thing in the making. Shall I let my son and heir Baldwin know to dedicate his masterpiece to my trustworthy vassals and advisors? Then again, it is my artifact. Maybe I should just... This is a way to get him back to us. No, to Gottfried. I don't know. The corn and roasted duck is delightful, but the stories to tell are even better. My friend Count Gohan and my vassal Gilles spent hours trading tales of our greatest hunts. Enough, shouts the Count. You are now crowned. You can call a hunt after the feast. We shall make it special for a new queen. Aye, here goes on. A hunt for a queen. The queen's hunt. Well, here's the problem. I'm too old to hunt. Huh. We could do falconry instead. So what if we falconed instead? You need to destroy supply of goods. Your next falconry type hunt will not cost any gold. Falconry is a sport of kings and queens. With practice ceremony, the benign King of England presents himself to me, bearing a jeweled encrusted coffer in hand. Bernard addresses all. Your Grace, accept this token of goodwill for my kingdom. May it symbolize a lasting bond between your people and mine. Gold? That's all you got? I graciously accept and pledge my goodwill. The relations between the Norman and the French will improve, as he is French cultured, by the way, but he's still family. I have worked tirelessly to promote the glory and foster the grandness of my coronation. The guests are flushed with the inspiration of what they could have witnessed here, radiating admiration. It was a fitting start for my reign as a queen. I stay true to my belief that the crown, the glory of the crown, is all. And the trials I face this place, the petty infighting, passing troubles, but greater Normandy shall persist. I have imparted this great belief unto my guests, and their faith in the realm has grown. But to what end goes to all the exaltation? Your artifacts will get a positive modifier. Utter reverence of my royal vestments. That's what I say. 4 of your artifacts will be improved. My magnificent coronation is finished. The guests depart, all deeply moved by the ceremonies. My reign begins. Ensured peace. Exalted coronation. Rocket vessels. Tax up and levy up. Yes, yes. Yep. So for my, the leather ball, which keeps me active and healthy, now has hostile scheme speed. Monster's horn now gains learned language scheme. Excalibur now has a slight build cost reduction. And accepted herb pouch. Oh no, his personal skin phase. My reign begins. And every detractor lost their opinion of Count Gottfried. So call on misguided supporter. We'll all be respected one day. Perhaps I should learn your language when time, if time allows, which I'm so healthy, I have all the time in the world. And we'll get the domain limit up as long as you keep the peace. You could create a royal army. Of course, it'll cost you a lot, if need be. Army is maintenance free, cannot replenish, and it's non-inheritable. So that's during times of, well, only when it's appropriate. I've sworn to deliver peace. I've sworn to deliver unto people at the time of peace. It's time to lay down our weapons and savor an age of peace. The Norman people have seen too many dark years of war. So you must have 5 years of peace. And so no wars. No more wars. Don't do anything. Sit there. Be content with what you got. It's not until late medieval era for you to erect a statue then. And compile a Domesday book, which, at least it doesn't cost too much, but we'll do that in a moment. Let's hold court. French will be the court language here. In order to be successful, I must actually rule on the various dilemmas and situations which arise within my sphere of influence. By officially inviting all my subjects to travel to my castle and petition me for aid, I'll be able to stay informed, sway the balance of power, and visibly show the world that I am in charge. Increase the court grandeur, legitimacy, invite guests and subjects to petition to persist. You might learn of exclusive opportunities. You might be able to influence situations in foreign realms. You might gain additional court grandeur. Gain or lose opinion, prestige, gold, and more. Let's hear your petitions. Sitting on my throne, I gesture from my guards to open the doors of the hall. The stream of people file in, some lining up in front of my throne, while others move out of the way so they can simply observe the proceedings. After several moments, all movement in the chamber has ceased. All faces turn towards mine expectantly. In front of me, I count 3 petitions lined up in an orderly row, waiting for me to call on them. Gesture for the first line approach. We listen to the first petitioner. My Marshal, Duke Huronal, wanders into court, his eyes wildly admiring the wealth one can afford in the capital. It's no secret Iran is the envy of the world, Your Highness. But not all Iran was so fortunate. Coronally, for instance, the fields are barren, with nary a soul to attend them. Would it not be grand if the entire realm were as magnificent as well? Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Every county with at least 10 development levels below your capital will gain thriving development. Resources have been recently diverted to aid in the growth of this county. We want our country to be great, alright? It would. Was there more? Or is that all? Okay, it's just one. I guess that was the only petitioner. Well, I guess that's it then. That was the only request. I guess it's because I did it because the coordination just ended and not everybody's returned to it yet. So, alright. The Consolidation of Normandy is complete, culminating the Norman Conquest of Greater Normandy. However, to conquer the land is one thing, to rule is another. To better govern in our new lands, we should survey them, accurately assess the properties and resources they have. I will gain 500 prestige. Your officials will complete the survey within a year or 2. Once complete, you will receive the Domesday Book artifact. So, here's for historical context. William the Conqueror initiated an effort in 1085 to record the value of every property in England and its resources like its land, manpower, and livestock. Complete a year later, the resulting manuscript was originally called Liber de Vidonia, the Book of Winchester, but it's better known as the Domesday Book. English natives nicknamed it so because, like the biblical Last Judgment, their survey results were unalterable and indisputable. We'll gain 300 more renown when it's complete. In every county here in Greater Normandy, changes plus 15. Gains survey by the Domesday Book for the next 50 years. So, start work on this great survey. So, again, this region's rulers who were Norman or descendants or successors of Normans recently ordered a great survey nicknamed the Domesday Book. Following their conquest of these territories, the information contained on the Domesday Book is an invaluable resource for administering these territories. Holding taxes up, development, government, and control growth. Start this work. Though I have settled into my role as ruler of Greater Normandy, there is much work that needs to be done to tame these coastal lands from the tip of Brittany to the marshes of Frisia. There are still many who question the ability of the Normandy dynasty to govern these territories. I decided to conduct a great survey of these lands, one far greater than any has been done here. Perhaps the world. Not only will this assist us in taxing and managing these lands, but allow us to better control these local inhabitants. My steward, Count Gottfried, assures me that everything will go according to plan. He selected officials to send out this survey. He expects them to finish within a year or 2. I will look forward to seeing the results of this survey. I got another thing I just realized, since we're keeping the peace here. Invite the Norse settlers. Since we're a bit money intensive. Bring in traders. Increase the taxes. I've come into contact with a band of Swedish adventurers led by a man named Svokva, who expressed interest in serving me. Svokva agreed to return, provide something in return, allowing his band to move with my raiders. Though notorious as warriors and raiders, the Swedes are also cunning in commerce and widely traveled. The Scandinavians' extensive trade networks are a valuable asset for any business-minded ruler. As so it happens, Smoker has experience traveling and trading, and has offered to bring traders to my territories and build a productive trade relationship with me. Lastly, I could see if I can ask him to help me defend my territories against incursions by the hostile Norse. 100% that he will help me reprieve from Scandinavian adventures. See, 5-year peace, and we need to keep those Scandinavian adventures away from my lands. We want to prevent that from happening. We spent 600 prestige and Norse traders for the next 10 years. After we negotiated a favorable agreement to both sides, I discussed with Sorker whether he and his band could further assist me in preventing or resisting future large-scale Norse attacks on my territory. Sorker told me the Swedes are notorious for their abilities in war, but few know of their skill in commerce. With stronger trade connections between my territory and Scandinavia, the Norse warlords would be foolish, if not outright moronic, to destroy their source of income in these trade networks. Though this does not permanently reduce long-term threat of the Norse, it is excellent news. Working with this band turned out to be even better than I initially thought. How unfortunate that the good Vikings like an exist for the next 5 years. Excellent. Now we can be rest and content. There shall be peace in our time, no more wars. Keep promoting. You can have your wife. Yes, I'm a bit senile. I spot my husband always saw Chad excited around me, listing ideas suggested for a cabinet. My carpenters barely concealed architect, clearly annoyed at my spouse's interference. And as you are making a cabinet, the couple on may as well matches my grandfather's old cabinet. Father Ansel seems to be dying. Come, darling, let's leave it to the expert. Gold, gold, gold. Since I hold the title of Anjou, I suppose you would want that back. Since you've been good to me, you can have it. Yeah. Just to be nice. As the renown of my dynasty grows, the value of how glorious the Nordic citadel spreads too. My family's device is now recognized in the regional circles of nobility, counted highest amongst the prominent Norman bloodlines. As it should be. It's now become masterwork. Average trade power now, as we are independent. Our income's still not yet great, but one day it will. God, these duchy buildings. Can't build them yet. We don't have the appropriate innovations for it. But everything will be alright. I'm still feeling fine. I got a long life to live. See? Gotta get Iron Constitution next. One day I could reset the perks and we can keep this, but get rid of this and put it here. And go for all that. Over here, my queen, my son and heir Baldwin waves me with a wide grin, until many days and nights, when finally my work is done, he presents me an object wrapped in cloth. As I lift the fabric, my eyes grow wide, and open a crown of masterful craftsmanship. The crown is forged from gold and adorned with intricate filigree that frames a large sapphire centerpiece. My crown completed, I can now host my coronation and submit my authority as a sovereign. You can now host the coronation. Are we doing this again? A proper Norman crown instead of the one. A 2-time coordination. But does that mean, hang on. Yes, you're crowned sovereign. We could do it again if you wanted to. Be crowned for the 2nd time. Matter of fact, I don't have one. Because this was taken off of me. And we could put this on. I mean, after all, it's an improvement. So this is the real Norman crown. Look, you already did a coordination ceremony, and there's no reason for you to do that again. So, forget about that. But they say the next hunt won't cost you nothing. My beneficiary Romain approaches me with thoughtful expression. Is there anyone special to you, Your Highness? Must have read my irritations. Personal question on my face because she continues. Is there anyone wish to dedicate to your commission artifact to it? Turning out well. There's a meaningful inscription to make it even more personal. Only the Lord guides me. You need the piety. They say falconry won't cost you anything. No, it still costs. Oh, but what's the court type? I didn't realize it. Since you have so much prestige. What's the court type? Diplomatic court. You can pick whichever you like, but... I'd rather go for scholarly court. Next dynasty legacy. We're continuing on with law. Now we have faithful magistrates. Even more reduction of title creation costs. And now you have more control growth here. So now control will be much less of an issue around here. Maybe perhaps I will do this end of Consolidation Normandy legend. It'll cost you, but... My queen, beneficiary remained justice to me over to an object covered in fabric with a wide grin on her face. I toiled many days and nights, and finally my work is done. Ships off recovering, my eyes grow wide as I see what's hidden beneath. A cabinet of very fine craftsmanship. It's constructed from elm panels. The wood is varnished to give a rich, dark shine. This is lovely. Piety up. God is my strength, says this cabinet. Alright, put it over there. Did you see the size of that cabinet? Look again. Now that's a cabinet. A cabinet of very fine craftsmanship. It's constructed from elm panels. The wood's been varnished to give a rich dark shine. Tiny old description are proudly stating, God is my strength. Takes 7 months to build now. You still got those extra building materials from left over. Do it. A number of hoopos has been spotted hanging about near my residence lately, with their distinctive and colorful crown of feathers. There's no mistaking what kind of bird they are. Traditionally, these birds have dark and ominous associations in Norman superstition. Some say they are thieves, others say they're harbingers of death. Yet others are agents of Satan. We have to scare them away or kill them. Historical context. Hoopos, once considered a single species, are now several species of the genus Hoopola. They are noted for their colorful crown of feathers, and historically have had different meanings in different cultures. In much of the northern Europe and Siberia, for example, they're seen as ominous and negative symbols. Conversely, in much of the Middle East and Mediterranean, they're viewed as symbols of wisdom, kingship, and follow piety, and that their bodies could provide a number of wonderful and magical medicinal benefits. But given of my Norse roots, I'll say, get out! That's associated with death, and I don't want death, especially in front of my life here. I'm not going to their coordination, but I'm happy with where I am. And maybe one day we should go on a pilgrimage. Oh yeah, Grand Tour is another thing, since I've never done that. Since you got plenty of vassals now, you should consider it. Going on a Grand Tour. Likely for money, rather than majesty. You've discovered communal government, which means your development can now reach the max existing development penalty at 35, so the country's ripe for development now. In our culture sphere, we're going to get mangonels in the future. Improved siege weaponry. He just died. Bled to death. Well, he was a bleeder, I can recall. Now I got tier 2 of perceived senility. I'm an old woman, got nothing left in me anymore. It's going to take an eternity to have to get anywhere with this. Would it be best for you to get Iron Constitution? Oh, here we go. This is the one I wanted to end the episode with. My steward, Count Godfrey, has good news to report. Our great survey of Greater Normandy has been completed. Started this effort not too long. I'm glad that I can now benefit from the results of this survey. With reliable information about the people and property of this region, we can tax the local inhabitants more efficiently and secure our rule here. Interestingly, some people nicknamed the survey Domesday or Doomsday Book, as they say my officials have done such an excellent job for the records in this manuscript are like the Last Judgment. The information contained within it is unalterable and indisputable. My officials have done well. So here it is. Stewardship per level of fame, even less title creation cost, and more control growth. This manuscript is a comprehensive record of the Greater Survey of Normandy, carried to completion during the reign of Queen Stephanie. It contains detailed information about the landowners, property, tenants, and serfs in the region. Though officially called the Great Survey, it's earned the nickname the Domesday Book because, just like the biblical Last Judgment, the survey results are unalterable and indisputable. Got your prestige, your renown. Every county's control jumps up. So we will not be having any more control issues. Especially you up there. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait to start making some investments. Coming soon. Because we may have to, permit slavery. People won't like it. And the control growth, however, it's tolerable now. So, do it. We're doing it because cheaper building construction costs. Because in the next episode, I'm ready to build some things. And fast. Traps and ditches constructed. And we got one more extra building material here. Ready to be used. So rampart walls. So our capital will now be well fortified enough that we can handle any kind of threat. And then after this, when your realm gets bigger, that's for these, Maybe I should consider, giving women unconditional autonomy. 4. More development growth and cultural fascination progress. You only have like one zealot vassal, so this would be ideal. I'm gonna give women their rights next year and in the next episode, so 81 years old now, and I'm as healthy as ever. Just don't F up. Yes, I know you're still betrothed and you haven't had children yet, but you just wait in a few years' time, and you will all have a future. So I urge you to don't do anything. Or we'll soon be ready to start using the... Yeah, you could demand payment. There's more prisoners that could be ransomed. Just give me some. So that way, we can, use that money for these construction projects. As I said, like, I want to make investments like this here, for example. Less time, less costs, but need more forests. Who knows? Maybe after the time of peace we should expand and grab Brabant. And the other counties. Highness, my Archbishop approached the urgency. The local merchant has a copy of the influential Regale Pastores, but refused to sell to me. If you make him see the other's way, I will be in your debt. This book sounds interesting. Give it here. No longer my bodyguard. He drank himself to death. I'm whistling because... Okay, we'll end it at 10:18. Rampart walls is complete. Can't wait for memorialism. If I'm going to be around for that long. Because I am going to appoint a royal architect and we're going to start building some things. An alliance. We'll have that asked. Long-term plans. Just this once. This is for the increase of my monthly lifestyle experience because my senility is catching up to me. Okay, stop. We'll end the episode right here. In the next episode, there will be peace in our time, and we're going to start building buildings. Right as I appoint a royal architect, which of course it's Baldwin. So this makes building construction costs much cheaper. So, for example, yeah, 4 months. So we're ready to make some fortune again. For as long as I'll live. And I'll make sure to change my lifestyle towards medicine in 2 years' time. I want to be the longest lived character that I've played in 6 years, nearly 6 years since I started playing Crusader Kings 3. My old record was 92 for my oldest character ever played. But I think Stephanie's got a very good shot at it. She has what it takes. Even though, mind you, some of them are modifiers, so who knows? We'll see what happens in the next episode and in the future. I will keep this going since we just completed our major goal for the series. I'm not going to end that series. I just want to see how long she'll live. Just don't get too much into trouble. But until then, so long for now.